Welcome to Grawlix Nights, the Grawlix Podcast live show. I'm Randy.
I'm Melanie.
And I'm Jesse.
Hey, everybody, what's going on? We've got another exciting Thursday night of aimless content for you.
Yes. You just pull one thread and the whole thing falls apart.
Oh, we're going to jump into it right away. Mm-hmm. But first, how are you two doing?
I'm good.
I'm good. I'm all right.
Good. All right.
All right.
All right.
Yep, there you go. You summoned him. You summoned Matthew McConaughey. Mm-hmm. It's like Beetlejuice, only it's all right, all right, all right.
He would get, like, I people still have to say it, right? He would be summoned constantly.
All the time.
Be a lot cooler if they did.
Totally lost it.
Well,
right at the beginning.
Did everybody have a good time celebrating America?
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, thank you, Melanie.
Mm-hmm. Everybody still got all their fingers and toes?
People lose toes?
Fingers, at least.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, you're probably
right.
right.
I mean, there were more mass shootings this year than last year, so.
You lose a lot more than your toes.
Toes, at least they're worries. I did it! I killed it.
Our 4th of July was fine. It was in our area where we're at. It was off and on stormy and kind of rainy, so it was much more low key 4th than usual. Less fireworks. We did less fireworks. When we were doing it, it was kind of sprinkling, and then it was getting a little more rainy, and the kids wanted to go inside. Then everybody wanted to leave, so it was low key, but it was not a bad 4th of July for me anyway.
Mm-hmm. Only one firework shot at people, and it wasn't even a super big one. It was just a kind of big one.
It's not 4th of July unless people are screaming and running through the backyard away from fireworks. I will say that.
Yeah.
Holly got to be the person that was screaming after someone let off an artillery shell under one of those traffic cones, like a traffic cone. These kids were just like, we're going to put it in a traffic cone and see what that does. And so that does nothing. It blows up right there on the ground.
Yeah.
Right.
Like right next to these houses and stuff. And Holly just she just lost it. She's like, it happened once and then it happened again. And that's when she was like, no, this is over.
It happened twice.
How many times does it take for you to know that you shouldn't do that? I mean...
Yeah. No, the first time it happened, they were doing the cone, and then the next time they were like, what happens if we flip the cone upside down, or the tube upside down? Same thing. Come on. Yeah. Like, he didn't blow up the tube.
At least they were doing it for science.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I've probably even told this story on the show at some point over the years, but one of the classic stories is... my dad would always experiment with different length of tubes for artillery shells.
Oh, sure.
Which, so he'd have I don't know where you get them, like metal tubes of different sizes and stuff. And he had this super long one, and I think long barrel, right? Like thinking it's gonna go to the moon. I don't know.
Right.
And it might have been PVC or something, but the super long tube, and we're gonna test it out. So. Me, my dad, and my grandpa were standing around. I don't remember who was holding it, but this big long tube lit the artillery shell and dropped it in there. And the tube was I'm 6'1", almost 6 inches.
Yeah.
I'm 6 foot, and it was, I believe, taller than me. And we dropped it in there, and we're waiting.
Yeah.
And we're waiting, and nothing. So we're like, huh? We lift the tube up, boom, and explodes right there at our feet.
Oh, God. Yeah, so I bet what happened was there wasn't enough air to keep the wick lit, and then it did. I feel like we lost some internet, folks. I don't know if you can hear me or if they can hear me. But we're still going. I don't know that I can do the show alone. Heyo. Carranzo Media, there's some Jasper. Hey Jasper, is it just me? Are they frozen? Is Randy frozen? It's just me. It's just me. I'm all alone. This is the worst case scenario. Okay, so yeah. What else? 4th of July related. I basically stayed around the Fremont area, and it was kind of nice because we didn't host. We just went over to a friend's house, and like everybody brought food, that kind of thing. We did the whole potluck, the American 4th of July barbecue style thing, and it was nice. It was nice. Didn't have to worry about cleaning up afterwards, any of that. Didn't even buy fireworks, so I didn't light all of my money on fire. I'm feeling safer now that I know that Jasper is here, so that is good. Thank you for holding it down with me. Hopefully, we will have a Randy and a Melanie back soon, because yeah. Because I don't know how far I want to get into the content without them, because I know that they have things to say. Oh, I'm getting a message that says that they will be back soon, and it's their internet. So, yeah. What can I... You know what? While they're gone, I will talk about... Oh, Jasper's asking me if I saw any elaborate firework displays. You know, when people were just lighting off their artillery shells right there on the ground, that was pretty elaborate. It was definitely exciting, but I don't recommend that. We did see quite a few pretty cool fireworks just in the neighboring neighborhoods kind of thing. Oh, they're
Hey,
back.
Melanie.
There we go. Good.
Click the link again. It should be working.
Jasper's been keeping me company while you guys were gone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's in the
Jasper.
Twitch chat. Yeah.
God, I wonder what that's going to do for the recording. Not that we really need the recording, but... Yeah.
I'm assuming it'll still all be there, but maybe not.
I had to fully reboot the modem and router.
I was
For the
talking to
second
you.
time
You
today.
didn't even have me on. I didn't
I'm sorry.
realize. Yeah, I was
What
like,
were
they're
you-
ignoring me.
I heard you say something from out there, and I was like, oh, she's here. Sorry about that, guys. Did you even get to hear the rest of my story?
Just that, yeah. Like it blew up as soon as you. But you pulled the tube up off the ground? Is that what happened?
Yeah, to see like what the deal
yeah.
was, and it blew up right there on the ground.
So I'm guessing it was like there wasn't enough oxygen for the wick. It was like too long of a tube, and then as soon as you pulled it up, there was just enough.
Yeah, yeah. And it
just
didn't even like
reignited.
attempt to like fire off. It just like, boom,
Yeah.
hit the explosion. Yeah. Anyway. Hey, Jasper says I can join as backup, although I don't know the topic. You know what? Either do we.
Yeah, you don't gotta know the topic.
We are going to talk about threads. If
React to the news.
if you do by chance just want to join in for funsies, you can, but only for funsies.
Yeah,
We don't want no serious here, only shenanigans.
that's right.
Only shenanigans until we randomly start talking about something overly serious for a show like this.
Right.
Happens from time to time. We have not been... Okay, cool. Jasper's going to join in. We have not been... I need to trim my mustache. It's like at the perfect spot to like really be hitting my lips.
Oh, it's like stabbing you in the lip. That's
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
You just gotta feather it.
You're right.
You need to let one of those round comb or round brushes. That would make it
Yeah.
worse, right? It would just like,
Just
I don't know.
whoop. We have not been really watching anything except anime. And I've been forcing Melanie to watch My Hero Academia, which is kind of Grawlix appropriate because it's It's superhero stuff.
And they come from manga, or at least I don't know if.
Well,
I've
no,
seen
yeah, they
manga.
come from, which is, comics anyway, but also like you could tell the writer, or whoever the writer is. Sorry, I'm not good with, I don't know the name.
Even
loves
if you
him
did know the name, it'd be 50-50 on whether or not we could say it.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. That's being generous. Thank you. 50-50. I like those odds.
Never tell me the odds.
But you can tell he's got a love for superheroes and comics in general, which is pretty cool. But very enjoyable. The main thing is Melanie, I don't think, is super into it. She wants to watch One Piece. I desperately, after months and months of watching One Piece almost every day, need a break from One Piece. So I've been forcing more My Hero Academia on her. But the series starts to get pretty dark in the last couple seasons, so I'm really pushing to get her to that point because I think then she'll out.
Because I'm tired
Yeah.
of everybody crying all the time. Jeez.
Yeah, but
Not,
we got
not like horrible thing crying because they're happy or they're proud or they're whatever, all the stupid things.
right crying because they're inspired by someone's hero spirit. There
Yeah.
is a lot of
Ugh.
that type of stuff, but one of the episodes last night, I think we finally got one of the first tears because things are getting kind of intense. Emotional trauma tears versus like, you're so inspiring. So good stuff. That's what I like in my fun, colorful superhero anime. Emotional trauma.
Emotional damage.
Another thing that Randy's been watching a lot of, sorry, but is this on the YouTubes. What is that thing called?
Oh, well, the channel is Rubber Ross, but he has done a bunch of Jesse, have you heard of Gartic phone? Gartic phone? It's the art
you'll like
in the
it.
middle of Gartic is highlighted, but it's basically like a drawing game. And you can play it for free online. But you get there's a bunch of different things. Like you make animations and stuff, which is in and of itself interesting because somebody will start with a frame and then the next person gets a frame to draw. But every time you get a frame, you only see the frame directly before yours. So it's basically a bunch of people like trying to draw do an animation, only knowing what the frame before the one they're drawing now is. So they don't know where the animation's been or where it's going.
So it's the telephone game, but with animation.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. The normal mode of the game is telephone, but pictures and sentences. You start with a sentence. Somebody comes up with a sentence, and then that gets sent to somebody, and they have to draw whatever that is. And then that picture gets sent to somebody, and they have to describe it. And then that description gets sent to somebody, and they have to draw what it is. And it continues like
so
that.
that's straight up illustrations. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, is that what it's?
Yeah,
it's
there's a
already
board
thing?
game version of that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, there's a online version, and I've been watching a ton of his videos. And regardless of like even if he has people on there whose art skills aren't great, it's usually very funny, very amusing. The ridiculous
Right.
pictures and stuff. The animations
Sometimes
are
it's
great.
better if you don't have a lot of art skill. I've noticed.
Right.
It's like artists will overthink it and they'll overdraw it, and then like you'll be able to tell what it is, but you won't be able to tell what it's supposed to be.
Right.
Like you'll be able to tell what the image is, but you'll be like, what is that supposed to be? Like what's the cue? Is what you're
Right.
supposed to be guessing. Yeah.
It's best when you can't tell, or they just like, I don't know, maybe this.
Right.
I think it's a pickle.
Right.
He did like, after doing several animations, and this is from his streams like probably 2 years ago at this point, these videos, but he did eventually bring on a bunch of professional animators, and they made some awesome animations in this like web browser free art game, but very entertaining. And I was talking to Melanie, I was like, do you think that's Jesse can draw, and we don't really need to be able to draw well. that could be fun. I just don't know how well it would work with only 3 people. By the way, Jasper has access to our chat, so he can get the link if he needs. But I was like, that could be fun sometime. I don't know. I think more fun with more people, but we should do that sometime.
Oh yeah. No, it is definitely fun when you've got like a full group and you can see how it devolves. Or like, oh yeah, I could say that. Well done, everybody got it. It got all the way around the table. That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that. I don't usually think about the like YouTube videos I watch, but I've been on a big kick of those, watching through a bunch of his backlog of Gartic phone videos.
The only other thing that I've been watching besides Mission Impossible and Mission Impossible 2, I don't know if I've even said this on the stream.
You didn't say it on the stream.
Okay. Okay, so we can get into that if we want to, or we can leave it alone. But I've been watching Human Weapon, which is a History Channel show, and why that's interesting at all. Well, first of all, the series is kind of interesting because these 2 yahoos travel the world, like trying out different martial arts, and then basically getting their butts kicked by all these masters to try and become the human weapon or whatever. But anyways, one of my students like lent it to me, and there's like a ninjutsu episode, and so I watched that immediately. But why this is all interesting, and I feel like we've had this conversation in the past, but I'm gonna have it again. I got this Blu-ray, and I'm like, all right, okay, so I'll just hook up this Blu-ray drive to my machine, and I'll just watch it here on my computer.
Oh no!
Do you know where this is going? I'm sure you do, because I'm pretty sure I complained about this with DVDs too. So computers now, if you even have a disk drive, if you even have an optical drive, like you can put DVDs into your computer, but you can't play them. You can get a DVD player for like no money at all. DVD players are cheap. Blu-ray drives are not that expensive. But the flippin' software so that you can actually watch them, that's where they get you. I spent probably almost twice as much money getting the software just so that I got to watch the thing that I already had the drive for, that I already had the media for. I just couldn't see it.
You know what's ridiculous? Hi Jasper, by the way. It's been ages.
Jasper, sorry.
Hello.
I was mid-rant, so yeah.
Is that Minecraft behind you? What is that?
Xbox Minecraft.
Nice. It's been a dog's age since I played any Minecraft. Minecraft was fun.
Yeah.
My kids play right now. They're like, you need to play with them.
I was gonna say, part of the reason, like, other than the physical media just kind of being dead, we have a Blu-ray player, and yeah, they're cheap to get now. The one we have, though, I don't feel like we got enough use out of, and it kind of like is wonky in certain ways anyway. It just wasn't very well made, but I don't think you can upgrade the firmware, which means movies after a certain like date won't play on that. It's like, how are you gonna have a Blu-ray player that's like only guaranteed up to, I don't know. It's a movie. It's like a VCR. It's a DVD player. It's a Blu-ray player. It's a movie playing machine. I shouldn't have to worry about its firmware updates. You know?
How does it not come with the software to play it built in? How is that possible?
That is, especially on the computer. You think it'd be easier?
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm sure there is a free way to do it, but the free way to do it sounded really like just like a time sink. And I was like, no, my money, my time is worth more than this. So I'm not going to spend a whole day researching how I can like legit take the files and put them in the right places just so that I can use the free thing. As I hit things, I'm so mad.
Well,
who needs a printer?
I think I was just gonna say a printer. Some things like my printer was my example. It won't work because it's got too much like stuff downloaded in it, and it reads all of the cartridges, and it's like, oh, you already used this cartridge, you can't use it again. And I'm like, but I filled it. And they were like, nope, you used it once, you can't use it again. So I just can't use my freaking printer again. I hate printers. They suck.
By the way, we're not trying to ignore you, Jasper. First off, if you need to talk to him, you can. That's fine.
No, sorry.
Okay.
No, shoo him away. Go away. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
He just scared me out. He just came and carried me.
This is the Grawlix podcast. We will Grawlix all the bad words. Oh wait,
Yep.
that happens in post. Crap.
What's new, Jasper? How's it going?
I'm terrified.
I think your mic. I think it's using the wrong mic for you.
Yeah,
it's not picking
I
up
don't
your
think we're hearing you through your headset. I can hear the people in the background better than we hear you, which is weird.
Oh,
I don't know when Tracy's ready, okay?
okay. Hold on.
Maybe we're plugged into his.
Can you hear me now?
Whoa, that's way
Yeah.
better.
Okay, so now I figured out what that problem was. It was using my PS5 controller as the microphone.
Oh wow. I was
That's
saying,
crazy.
I was like,
No.
what's the sound quality?
Sorry, I thought
That's
I was
weird.
muted out. Sorry.
Not what I was expecting. Interesting.
Yeah, I forgot that it's USB'd in, so it's using this as a microphone. My apologies.
Oh,
That's
good.
crazy. I didn't even know you could use your controllers as microphones.
Yeah, the PS4 and 5 can be used as microphones
Wow.
because they've got a microphone right here in the controller.
Mm-hmm.
Fancy.
It's listening to you. So what's new, Jasper? Oh wait, you're occupied. Hey, that's what happens when you have a family. That's why we're all
That's right.
childless.
That's why we're child free.
Yeah.
We're enough children for ourselves.
That's true.
Well, hey, you know what's new?
What?
What's new?
Threads. Wait, Jasper's
Threads
back.
is new.
Threads is new. Jasper, you up on that Threads yet?
No, I
Is it-
was just looking at an article right before I got on, actually, about what that was.
You better get on there.
And some
Strike while the iron's hot.
at Cronzo Media.
Yeah,
don't know
before
what it
somebody
is.
gets your name. Well, actually, I think you could just import your name from Insta.
Right. I was thinking about that. I seen somebody was like, I don't know. It was an amusing post, but it was something about like, you ever sign up for a social network just to make sure you get your username or nobody else gets your username? But I don't know how that would work with this because I think the only way to sign up is just through Twitter, right?
Or Instagram, right?
Or Instagram,
Right.
Twitter.
I thought, okay, yeah, so I'm confused. Is it a Twitter thing or is it an Instagram thing?
No. Okay, so I was getting everything mixed up, but it's it's a Twitter clone essentially.
Right.
Okay.
But you it's clearly running on Instagram kind of framework.
But it
You
looks
have
like
to-
Twitter a lot. I mean, like it does look like Twitter.
Twitter's threatening lawsuits. It's like I don't think.
Oh,
you're
are
gonna
they
win this.
already?
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna win this one.
Is that Elon doing that or is that just Twitter?
I don't know.
It's Zuckerberg.
We'll say it's Elon.
Okay. Oh, suing?
I'm assuming it's Elon. Personally, him.
It's like, don't
personally.
take my stuff!
So, we've talked about. Well, first off, I don't want to ignore you because you're here. What have you been up to lately? You been watching anything good? What's new in the world of Jasper?
Oh, I've been, actually, that's a really good one. I've been watching, is it Jack Reacher? The Prime
Oh yeah.
show. I really like that.
Is it on the last season now? Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just got into it this week because my stepdad has been calling me nonstop about it. You need to watch Jack Reacher, but then I think I'm at the second season of The Boys.
Oh,
So which is hard to watch when you have 5 children.
yeah.
But I've been
True.
trying to catch up on that, and then there was another one I was watching. Oh, I was trying to catch up on The Mandalorian. I've still got to get the last season done. But yeah, the Reacher has been real good, and The Boys, even though it's over the top, has been really good.
I think the boys over the topness is part of what makes
Yeah.
it so good.
Right.
It really
Otherwise, you would
embraces
just
it.
stop watching it because it's basically another like parody show.
Right.
Yeah, then I was thinking of attacking Westworld again. Now that my brain's back in place.
I think you have to go to. I don't know. It's on one of the free services now. Maybe
Right,
it's on Amazon.
Freevee or Tubi.
Yeah, it's on Freevee or one of those. It's not even on HBO Max now or Max, which is like, how could they get rid of that, man? How?
But if it's on Freevee, it's on Prime. So
Oh, okay. There you go. If you got Amazon Prime, you can watch it there. Hopefully no ads if it's on Prime.
no, anything on Freevee has ads.
Brutal.
That's-
I can't imagine.
watch those.
I can't imagine Westworld with ads. That's horrible.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
Just like, yeah, an ad, Burger King. No,
Like Game of
I don't
Thrones
trust
or-
you, Burger King. I see what the robots have done.
No, I've been kind of into the AI robot thing lately too, because on our PS5 I was playing Detroit Become Human.
Oh, sure.
That's that whole thing. So been on that kind of thing lately.
Are they coming to take your job? The AI robots?
Everybody up here thinks they're coming to kill us. So
Oh, that reminds me. It's just a little aside. They started adding AI software or whatever. I don't know what it is into the programmings that they use to read your brain when they try to connect it to artificial limbs. And it's doing good things, but it's gonna take over your body soon.
I see no problems. I'm not doing anything with it. Nothing good.
With your body?
Yeah,
Okay.
probably be
always
better
thought-
off.
I always thought what Melanie thinks about that, where Elon was talking about put that thing in your brain, and then he said he's pretty sure he could like regrow eyes and cure paralysis and stuff. I forgot what the tech was called, but I was like, I don't know. I'd be like kind of for it, but I don't know.
No, see what he's gonna do is you're gonna get the implant, and then it's gonna like take your vision away unless you subscribe to Neuralink Blue, and then he's
Yeah.
gonna start taking away other things that were previously free or yours.
Or you can only see for like a couple hours a day unless you have the
Couple
blue
hours
check
a
mark.
day.
If you have the blue check mark, you can see all day long. But
You just
Or
drive in
you
your
can-
car
you
and it
can-
says subscription ended.
yeah, click here
probably
to
be-
upgrade.
It'll probably be you'll be watching, and then ads will start flashing through your vision. Instead of what you should see. Yeah, that sucks.
What?
You're just holding up traffic, like I'm trying to get my PayPal to connect to the Neuralink.
And it'll be certain newspapers and like TV shows and stuff you'll try to look at and it'll just be blurred out, like blurred for freedom,
for your freedom, for freedom of speech.
blurred for freedom. Go woke, get broke.
Oh my god.
What a clown! What a clown show, man. People, I don't think he's done himself any favors with the last couple of years in terms of, he's obviously somebody who craves the internet fame. He loves it. I mean, there's arguably no one else on earth who's spent as much to get more internet fame as he has. But man, he's not doing himself any favors.
That's like I always say. I like him for his SpaceX stuff and like because I'm a huge space nerd, but like him as a person, I'm not too sure.
Right. He owns some cool companies.
Right.
Definitely.
He put money into cool companies, but I think that's probably about it.
And he might be good at naming things because the Boring Company is the perfect name for his company that bores holes in mountains. That's great. Other than that, though.
The boring company. That's funny.
So we teased it. We didn't tease it. Threads. Let's talk about Threads. Not that anybody's particularly interested, except for maybe me. But man, so do you think they were ready to roll with Threads, or do you think the whole like fiasco about limiting the number of tweets you could see happen, and they're like, go now?
I think they saw the writing on the wall, and I think it's a couple of things. I think it was Blue Sky was rolling things out, and they were like, okay, we got to get out before Blue Sky gets out of beta, because it's really a race to be first. Because once you get established as the place to be instead of Twitter, that's where everyone will be. And sure, there's been Mastodon, and sure, there's been these other places that have tried, but like they're too complicated. It's got to be easy. And what's easier than Facebook and Instagram?
Yeah, chances are you already have an Instagram account. That's
Right.
probably why it's so tied directly to your. It's tied directly to your Instagram account right now. If you create a Threads account, you cannot delete it unless you delete your Instagram account.
Wow.
It's maybe a little too tightly
Ooh,
tied.
I didn't know that.
But, you know, yeah. Don't pull that thread.
You can't get rid of us.
Right.
You'll unravel. You'll unravel your Instagram if you pull the thread.
It's so bare bones right now, but which yeah, I think definitely it's bare bones, and they actually moved their launch time forward from when they were originally going to launch by almost a day.
Did you say
So-
Bones, like Bones Coffee, the 5-flavor sample pack?
What? No.
I'm trying to get us a sponsor.
It's a sample pack. It's whatever you see laying around the house is now the new sponsor. Listen, we got StreamYard right now. We could take more, though. We could take more. I put the StreamYard. By the way, if you're on YouTube, you should check out the description. There's some ad copy in there.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go. All right.
So we shouldn't have to do our whole spiel during the stream right now.
Sorry,
what was I
it's bare
saying?
bones. It's bare bones.
Bare bones. Yeah. Which definitely lends to the idea that they just like, we have to go now. Right now, regardless the state. Like, it is kind of like beta as we go.
Right.
Because there's no hash. I was super surprised to find that. There's no hashtags.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hadn't discovered that yet. Huh.
Well, I was like, I was going to. I was going to post something. There's not a name
Sure.
for it yet. I was going to post something. And I was like, I should use a hashtag.
You were going to start a thread.
Right. There you go. And then I was like, wait, I don't think I've seen a single hashtag, like, through whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no hashtags yet. The feed is only, like, whatever their algorithm is. It'll show you. When I first... So, I jumped on this real quick, because I happened to be here when the count... I looked at the website, countdown was happening, so I happened to be here when it ticked over. So I signed up really fast under my Super Science account, and... like, the feed was just empty. There was just nothing. In fact, most screens, there was just nothing. And I'm like, okay. But later yesterday, I hopped on and looked at the feed, and it was full of stuff. And I was like, cool. Who are these people? I don't follow any of these people. What? And so, yeah, the feed is just like general public algorithm, I think.
You
Maybe
can go
it's-
into settings and change that to just the people that you follow. I've
Oh,
already
you
gone
can?
in and done that. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know they... Okay. I didn't know that was possible. Cool. I'm probably going to do that.
So, if there's no hashtags, how do
you
make threads then? Because
Right.
isn't that how that works? Is you
That's
hashtag
how
something.
Instagram works.
I mean, well, that's okay.
Well, that's what surprised me about it not having hashtags is because, like I said, it seems very much built off the Instagram framework. Just like even if you look at the like and the comment and the repost and all that, like it's totally the Instagram stuff. That's why I think if Twitter tries to get serious about a lawsuit, first off, Meta sucks. They're not a good company, but like, you're also not going to successfully sue them, most likely.
Yeah, no.
When I was searching for Threads,
They went to Congress and got away with it.
Right.
Right. When I was searching for Threads on Google, there's a Slack alternative app called Threads, and I'm like, Meta doesn't even care. It's like when they took the name Meta, there was already a company, and they had a talk, and the company's like, nah, we're not going to give up our name. And that Facebook did it anyway. Like, they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Anyway, but I think because other than the fact that it's text posts primarily, the Slasher app doesn't use hashtags either. I don't know what the Slasher is. Other than the fact that it's primarily
for an app, though.
right, text. It's anyway. Point is, it's very much seems like it's got the Instagram thing, and it's like if they were gonna sue over this, they should have already sued over Instagram years ago, and they obviously, of course, didn't.
Also, hi Paul, and I
Hey,
believe
Paul.
you're in Wyoming.
Whoa,
Oh, look,
Paul in Wyoming,
look at the stars.
big sky.
Big sky.
Horror Twitter. Wait, is that like an actual dedicated app for just horror social network stuff? Because that's amazing. I didn't know that existed.
What was the horror video thing? What was that again? That wasn't called Slasher, was it?
Shut
No, that
Shutter.
Shutter.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah, which is good. It's good. They have lots of nice original stuff too, but and it's
Yeah,
fairly cheap.
I see on here too, as you were saying, it says Threads, an Instagram app. And
Yes.
then Threads, the productivity plane.
Right.
Not a Meta app, not a Facebook app, an Instagram app. That's
an
real
Instagram app.
interesting.
You think they're distancing themselves from themselves?
Yes, 100%. But it's like, dude, everyone knows you own Instagram. What are you talking about?
It's like that team walks by in the hallway. They're like,
they create their own inner company strife. See, that's what Twitter did wrong. Twitter started beef with everyone else. Meta just fights themselves. That's a meta thing to do.
If we're the villain, there's no one for us to fight with.
Right.
Wait,
Well,
that doesn't make
but
sense.
It kind of makes sense though, because Instagram is, I guess, kind of the place to be right now, and Facebook is seen as where the old people are. So, I mean, the young people I think are somewhere that's not Facebook related at all. But if maybe this is where they want them to be, I don't know. So yeah, go with the one that is the most popular and has the least negative, baggage with it.
But
Currently.
once it gets toxic, will people be like, "Are you threatening me?"
It is
Only if
right
they're-
now the place for thread puns. It is the place for
Right?
thread puns. I've seen so many.
Are you threatening me?
To t- to touch on the hashtags thing again, and to kind of like, I don't know, Melanie had said something about the hashtags. It is a bummer because at least last I knew, who knows, this could be different from when I was on it earlier today. I don't know how often they're going to be evolving this, but when you search, the thing with hashtags is it makes it easy to search and find stuff that you're interested in, find accounts you are interested in. There's none of that. When you search, you only search usernames right now. From what I understand, it's not even searching like content of posts. It's just usernames. So that is kind of making it hard to find interesting users to follow, because you can't search like a topic and see who's posting about a thing, which is
And-
obviously what. Go ahead.
Didn't the use of the term thread come from Reddit? Or am I wrong?
I feel like thread is a term that kind of came up organically in social media, like all over the place. Like you'll have a
okay.
Twitter thread, like follow the
Well,
thread. So
right.
like
That's why.
hopefully
that's
it's
why I
not
thought
a Twitter term.
That's why I thought it was Reddit though, because they have the lines that go down, and I thought that was that kind of how that came about. But okay, never mind then.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, Jesse, I noticed you were on it. I noticed today.
Yeah.
It did do an interesting thing when I signed up through Instagram. I don't know if it did that to you. is it asks you, do you want to follow these people? And it was a whole bunch of the people I'm already following on Instagram. But it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, sure, but none of them are there yet. And
Right.
so like you can pre-follow people basically if you're friends with them on Instagram.
Yeah, because a bunch of people have just like started up and like, you're following so and so now.
Paul says people long for the days when Facebook was just for college kids and a way to send text, and MySpace was the goofy profile. So now Threads will be the college app, and Facebook is the goofy profile or the goofy one.
Not until I can play a MIDI of 9 Inch Nails Closer.
MIDI.
It will never be MySpace until I can do that. MIDI 9 Inch Nails. That's what the world needs.
That's what Melanie wants. MySpace.
I miss the old MySpace music.
Top 8 friends. That's all I need.
Well, no, I want to be able to make it look cool. I want to be able to put music on it, and you know, yeah, I want to be able to customize my page. That's what I want. But you know,
I had friends get in fights over their top 8 in high school. They literally fought each other because they were not in each other's top 8s.
Yep. When
If you really wanted to troll people, you'd leave Tom as one of them.
Right. We're gonna start. You know, it's funny. Posts about MySpace Tom was like when the feed started populating for me on Threads. People were talking about MySpace Tom. So yeah.
I love that
Yep.
he's kind of become his own meme. You know, like he set us up for him to become the meme later down the road. He didn't even
Right. But yeah, Jesse, you're on it. What do you think of it so far? Have you had much?
I mean, I haven't had a chance to really play with it, but I knew that it's like, you don't want to be the last person on, you know, like you want with these social medias, with these Facebookses and these MySpaces, you want to be first. You want to be there while the organic reach is still authentic. And but I mean, I think most people know that game now. So like everybody's vying to be there right away so that they can get in on that organic reach. Like ever since, you know, you could get big on Instagram and blow up, or since you could do the same thing on TikTok, like everybody's like, oh, I'm not missing that bus. I'm going to be an early adopter. I'm going to make my fortune.
Mm-hmm. The organic reach early on, man, that is for sure too, because like already last night, so less than 24 hours had been launched, I was seeing accounts pop up, and of course there's some of the famous people on there, right? But like there's some accounts that popped up that I'd seen and I followed, and then like I noticed later it's like, oh, you have over 6,000 followers now. And a lot of it is if they happen to have, for example, accounts that had synth in their title, people looking for synth whatever or synth wave whatever. Obviously I started I was kind of looking at music stuff. They got a bunch of followers. I think if you have the niche that people are looking for in your username, you probably got a lot of followers real quick. I'm over here with 5. I'm like, whatever. I got 5 followers in a day. It's fine. Grindbin was on there. Grindbin podcast. Shout out to them. They were one of the first people to follow me. I was like, wow, you guys are almost faster than me on this thing. So.
Yeah, I haven't really used it. Is the problem? It's like I know this, but then I didn't capitalize on it at all. You know, I mean, like it's been up for almost what? It hasn't been a full 48 hours yet, but like it's been up for more than 24.
Just a little over, a little over 24 now. I mean, I don't know. I guess you just start posting a ton of stuff, but I'm not. I think I made 2 or 3 posts and then reposted a couple things. I was like, okay, that's cool. Once they get a web app, it'll be more useful to me. And like, I hate being excited about a meta thing, a meta company thing. But I know, like, people are probably tired of, if they actually listen to the show, people are tired of hearing me say it. I liked Twitter. It become the only social network I really checked for social network things. I check Facebook, of course, see what's up with people I actually know. And then it got ruined. It's such a shell of its former self. It's such a mess.
I think this is going to be the one too. Like, I just already I feel the excitement. I feel like I feel good about not being on Twitter. You know,
Right.
Like,
I think I think the reason it's so popular is because everything that I've seen about it, they're promoting it as the Twitter killer. So yeah, who isn't gonna like that? I mean,
I think that
unless
is it.
you're
Yeah, like I want to be on this because it's not Twitter, and I want to send that message. It's like
Yes.
voting with my dollar. It's like voting with my attention.
And I've got accounts on my Randall Sylvia account on Twitter is like 11, 12 years old or something. Like I have had accounts there forever, but man, I'm done with it. Like it's I don't know if it will ever like swing back around and recover. And Blue Sky, they're probably doing it smart, especially since they don't have meta money to
Right.
potentially burn trying to beta test this thing live. But Blue Sky, they're just taking too long. They took too long. They do have a nice user base already. Like there's a ton of people on it. Not me. I've been trying. Like
Yeah.
I'm not on it. So they took too long.
Yeah, like Neil Gaiman's over there. Like it sounded like something I was going to be excited about, but I was like, man, I'm just gonna have to wait until they launch because nobody's inviting this guy.
Well, even some of the people, like people I know through electronic musicians group days that I follow on Twitter still, and that's there's there's like 4 people that are regular on Twitter that I'm hoping to switch over because they're like the 4 people that kept me coming back to Twitter just because I was like, well, I like seeing their stuff, but like at least one of them's on Blue Sky, and I was like, oh, I'm over here, or let me in. Come on.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I like it though. I just like the format. Whatever. I've said it before. I'm not going to post a video anytime I want to say a little thing. I don't want to post a picture anytime I want to post a little thing. If I want to say a thing, I want to be able to just like, here's a sentence, or
Right.
more, or less. I don't know what the character limit is. It seems like you can do some pretty long posts on here.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah,
gotten
it
to
said
the limit.
500 words.
Oh, 500.
500. Okay.
Or 500
Cool.
characters, sorry. Said that wrong.
Okay. I don't know. People, I suppose there's not that much more to say about it. They need to get that web app going, though.
Yeah.
Like, if they don't get that eventually, that probably will kill it for me, because I'm just not tied. I'm tied to my desktop. I'm not tied to my phone.
That's
I'm not
my
a normal
problem. Is,
person.
like, my phone is too small for my huge hands. So I like a web.
Oh, sure.
Beep boop beep boop boop boop.
and they're just harder to use to look for things, in my opinion.
Right. I agree. And when I do want to post some, I'm rarely and maybe I should do this, but I don't really go anywhere to take interesting pictures. I'm never taking a picture and be like, I need to post this from my phone. I make stuff on my computer, and then I want to post that. And that adds an extra step if I need to get it to my phone. But that's just me. I'm a weirdo.
It's gotten to the point where like I've even linked my phone to my computer because a lot of times I'll find something on my phone, but it's like, no, I want that on my computer. So I'll send it to my computer so I can go to it. Or so I can put it into my photo app. It just shaves a step from having to Dropbox it or something.
Yeah, because see, I backed off Facebook, and then I was like, all right, I want to go to Twitter because like I watch kind of how Randy runs his, and then it's just like every time it's on my phone, it's just some junk I don't want to hear about, like,
Yeah.
and I can't get rid of it. Like,
And honestly, I kind of feel like, when we were doing GCU, it was pushing you towards Twitter, but I feel like it was around that time or shortly after is when a lot of the social networks really kind of, for me, nosedived, and they hit a wall, and like the algorithms really like suppressed a bunch of stuff, yet it's the crap you don't want to see is the stuff that would rise up, and it's just, yeah, I don't know. I feel like Twitter especially started a nosedive at that point, and it was mostly algorithmic stuff. And I'm sure we'll have that problem with this too. I can never break through the algorithms, but that's okay. That's also why I have like so many I have 5-6 Twitter accounts, but I just Super Science was the one I'd log into because I followed the least amount of drama people. There's very few to no political posts, and like for a while it was just music and AI, music and AI
Yeah,
art and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And that
All
I was
the
like,
stuff
that's
you
what I
wanted.
want to see. And yeah, so that's kind of why it became my go-to, mainly because of who was on there. And I really am not looking forward to building up, not even a following, but building up that list of people I'm following. That's not going to be fun, but that's okay. I'll find people on there.
I'll find him. I'll find him.
And that's another thing. Like, all the Elon stuff sucks, and like, out of principle, there's been times where I'm like, I just want to delete all my accounts off here now. But really, the major killer has been like, a lot of people I was following did delete their accounts, I think, because it's like 5 or 6 people I see on the regular in my feed, and I'm like, this used to be full of fun people. So, hey, let's move on.
Okay.
What are we moving on up to?
I mean, the only other thing I can think of is Mission Impossible. I'm starting to watch those, and I've made it all the way to 2. I got a ways to go.
So what inspired this? So you're gonna go through the whole franchise?
So the new one, yeah, the new one's coming out or is out or whatever.
Oh,
and
really?
Holly goes to them. Like, I think she went to the last one without me. But usually, if I'm available, we go together, right? And so she started, and I was like, okay, all right, I'm in to watch a couple of these, at least until I can't handle it anymore. And I may be done at 2 because it was John Woo. It was, I mean, it's, oh my goodness. The second one is so much. And all I remember about Mission Impossible 2, and I know I saw it in theaters, but all I remembered about it was that that scene of Tom Cruise climbing the rock. And like, he got all this kudos and whatnot for doing all, or as many as he could of his own stunts. That whole thing. It's like, no, he's really climbing the thing, right? And like, that's what I remember about it. But really, like, this movie is like, hey, you know what we didn't have enough of in the first Mission Impossible? Sex appeal. So everything is smoldering looks, and it is peak John Woo. And I had forgotten. You're like, John Woo was everywhere at that time, but like, I had forgotten some of the like over the topness of him. And like, I love Face Off, and I know how over the top that is. But like, it's like glaring in this where it's like there's no music, but you can hear the like tires of the motorcycles basically taking the place of sword strikes. It's like dueling tires in the sand. And then like, there's always like a flock of pigeons. Like, just, I don't know what it is about birds with this guy, but it's just like somebody's gotta stir up the birds, and the pigeons are gonna fly off. And then once in a while it's a dove, and if it's a dove, that means Tom Cruise is there. And then they're like, he'll blow up the door, and then he's gonna walk through that flaming door. It's just a flaming door hole thing. But then before he walks through, you know what's gonna happen? A dove is gonna fly through that flaming hole, and then he walks through. It's just, and then there will be like the obligatory scene where the guy will just like drag his gun on the table like it's a sword. It's like, nobody does that.
What?
Give me a second before I shoot you. Shh.
I'm just like watching all these tropes I love, all these like old kung fu movie, samurai movie tropes that I love, but I'm watching them like almost too over the top, done in an American action style. And it was like, man, I ate this stuff up when it first came out, but it's appalling. It's appalling to see in hindsight. This is almost like a Nick Cage thing for me now. I want to seek out more John Woo movies to see if they're as ridiculous as Mission Impossible 2.
Oh,
because
definitely.
I like Face Off. It just felt right because that movie's crazy anyways.
No, his style is super over the top. I'm real conflicted on John Woo. Like, most of his movies, like, there's some amazing sequences, but man, he over the top. He doesn't know the definition of. You know, like the doves is like his trademark. Why? It's so silly.
This is ridiculous.
Ah, Turner. Wouldn't be Turner without wouldn't be Grawlix without Turner reminding me of my favorite PSA that YouTube used to shove in my face every day.
Metal in your lungs. It's
Yep.
a dove.
It is.
It's a dove in your lungs, and then
Yeah.
that's when the metal comes through, too, like right after the dove flies. And fun fact that ties it back to our earlier conversation: Tandy Newton's in this, or Tandy Newton, or whatever her name is.
Who is that?
She's the love interest. She's also like what's her name in Westworld? Mav.
Oh,
Oh.
really?
Yeah.
I kind of want to watch Mission Impossible 2 now.
I mean, you should watch it. It's
She's great.
ridiculous and it's crazy.
She's
Yeah,
great.
she's great, but it's also not her best work either.
Oh, I'm sure it's not.
Maeve is way better than.
You know, it's interesting because like those Mission Impossible movies were always popular and did well. That's why they're still around. But like critically, I think people were like, eh. But a lot of the newer ones, I think generally have been received well all around. So I'm very curious about the newer ones. It's like, well, did they drop some of the cheese and just get like,
Well, I've got another reason you should watch Mission Impossible 2. Limp Bizkit.
Oh.
Limp Bizkit did the theme. I knew you needed just
Yeah.
one more thing to push you
look
towards
around.
it. But yeah, Tawny Newton, John Woo, everything. Mission Impossible theme by Limp Bizkit. What else could you want? What else could you
Did they
want?
continue? Did they continue that trend of having like different bands do the Mission Impossible theme?
I think it probably ended with Limp Bizkit.
They even
you know
turned.
what?
Could be wrong.
We're fine.
You were like,
They
you know
even
what?
turned
We
that-
tried it.
They even turned that into a single. I remember that playing on the
yeah.
radio like it
yeah.
was a real song. But I remembered not to derail you now. The other one piece of news I want to get to, and that is apparently season 3 of The Witcher is out,
yeah.
or part 1 of season 3 because the Netflix is trying to milk them. I say milk them, but like they still drop a bunch of episodes at once.
Welcome
That's
if
not
you got them. Wait, what? That's not how that goes.
Milk 'em if you got 'em.
But anyway, so there were a few stories about this, and it's just about Netflix's ad campaign for the new season of The Witcher, and people are like, "What are you doing? Even you, Netflix, even you know." They tweeted pictures of a billboard and ad campaign that they're running in, I think, in the UK, and it's just, yes, he's still Geralt in season 3, The Witcher, and it's got the Netflix end.
Oh no, that's not a good sign. It's either
That's-
brilliant or it's like that's not good. If that's
It's
all you
real-
got to say.
It's a little bit of both, I think, because it's funny, but also it's like, right? You messed up. And it's also, I guess, I mean, really, it's kind of insulting to the next Geralt coming up, but they have to know viewership. I feel like viewership will spike for the first episode of season 4 and then drop way off, regardless how well that Hemsworth boy does.
Yeah, why? I mean, like, there's been other shows that were good shows that we liked, that the actor that played the main character couldn't play them any longer, and we knew before we even watched it that it was gonna suck and it was gonna end the show. Like the one that comes to mind is that one Gladiator show that we watched. I don't remember what it was called, but it was really can't hear you. It was really good. And then the actor got sick, and that's why he couldn't be in it anymore. And they had a season that was like a prequel that was okay, but once they replaced the actor, no, it went to crap. I've never seen a show where they replaced the actor besides Doctor Who, but that's different. They did magic with that,
Well, and they made it part of the lore and the plot. Like, that's what he does. He changes, or she sometimes changes every so often. Netflix, I don't remember who it was, but somebody with Netflix was trying to put some spin on it. Like, well, we envision Geralt as like one of those characters that could be played by multiple actors,
Like a James Bond, yeah.
Like, how did they not say James Bond? No, the two I remember them saying, like a Doctor Who or Spider-Man. Why did they not?
Spider-Man.
No.
It's always Peter Parker. That's the worst. I mean, like, yes, Miles
actors.
now, but yeah.
Well, the actors change. It's like, no, the actors in Spider-Man change because their respective
over.
trilogies flop so hard that they reboot the franchise a few years later. That's why the actors usually change.
Like
You don't
Batman
want that.
would have been closer, but also terrible.
Right.
Like a terrible example. We were like, remember when George Clooney? Oh, wait a minute.
Right.
Anyone could be
Batman's-
Batman.
Batman actually is a better example where it's, but that is not a good example. You're right, because
No.
usually the actor change signals a downhill decline in quality.
Right.
And again, those are movies. That's not even that is not the
Right.
same
Right.
as a series. You know, series
That-
movies have a lot more going for them than a series does, and you know, TV shows are not the same, and generally they are carried by the actors that play the characters. You know what I mean?
Especially the lead actor.
Yeah,
Especially the
exactly.
lead actor who was universally beloved for his role in such a show.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. I don't know.
Well, I universally love Henry Cavill anyway, but still.
Well, people like him, but I don't think
Even dogs like him.
people didn't. I don't think people really latched onto him for being Superman like they latched onto him for being Geralt. Or Geralt.
That's true.
I don't know.
I agree with that. But that's because he looks like Superman, so it was like, duh, of course he's going to be Superman. You know?
I don't know who this person is, but I would accept it. No one else.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I wanted to mention that because that was amusing. Melanie,
Wah.
Oh,
I feel like I could use something amazing right about now.
Oh, good. I'll tell you some amazing things.
Okay.
Okay, so an astrophysicist, Geraint, that's kind of close, Lewis, and statistician Brendan Brewer searched through 2 decades worth of observational data to reconstruct the flashing of 190 quasars that are located between 2.45 and 12.17 billion years in the past to look for evidence of the Doppler effect. I don't know if you don't know what the Doppler effect is. That's like if there was an ambulance with a siren going, and the farther away it goes, the like longer its woo woo sound, you know, it stretches it out. And the same thing happens with the quasars. So they found the evidence, and that proves that time dilation happens throughout the universe, which is, I mean, we've known about time dilation for a long time. That's how they came up with the twin paradox that Einstein did, where one twin will stay on Earth and the other one will go travel through space at the speed of light, and when he comes back, the twin on Earth will have aged while the one in the spaceship would be the same age. It's because, you know, time is the same for both of them, but the velocity going through space is what stretches it out and gives it the Doppler effect. So, because they checked the flashes of the quasars, they saw that in the past, around, like, you know, when the universe was about 1 billion years old, time moved 5 times slower than it does to us, it's very difficult to explain.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You got tongue tied on it. Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah. The velocity between us stretched time so that it's 5 times slower now to us than it, but at the time to them it was the same time. You see what I'm saying?
Wait. What you're saying is time back then was 5 times slower than it is now.
No, I'm saying
Time now
then
is
was
slower?
Time then was time. Time now is time. But moving from then to now with the speed of the expansion of the universe stretched time so that it's 5 times slower than now than it was then. You see what I'm saying?
It's
No,
less
this is not
linear
working.
and it's more wibbly wobbly. Stuff.
It's like if time were a piece of taffy.
Wait, you're
Jeremy
saying-
Bearimy.
You
All
took
time-
the taffy and
I feel like
stretched
I need
it.
John Madden for that one. You got
Yeah.
the time here. You got the time here. You just put it together, Brett Favre.
Brett Favre.
Okay, here you go. So, are you saying time everywhere is slower now?
No,
Is it faster now?
no.
Okay.
It's not the time really that changed. It's the movement, because space is related to time. So if you move faster through space, you're also changing time. You see what I'm saying? It's the change that is the big thing. You know what I mean?
Time is changing at a different rate.
Sure.
I
I don't
I'm
know how
trying
to explain.
Okay, okay.
That's why
I'm
I
just
was
not
trying to-
grasping.
You're not. But that's
We
okay.
were talking about this the other day, and I thought I understood, but I apparently did not.
So, if I were a billion years ago, it would be moving at the same time. Would be moving at the same rate. Actually, we don't even need that. If I'm at the top of a mountain, time is moving at the same amount of time to me as it is to you down at the bottom of the sea level. But when our clocks line up, I've actually I'm in the past to you, because time stretches between those two places because of gravity.
Okay, sure.
Space, it's more like space changes time.
Space time.
The distance and how far apart they are and how fast you can get between them changes time. Yeah.
Right.
But it's proven. They proved it. It's basically another thing that proves Einstein's theories, and it has an effect though, because it's going to change the way we look at the what is it called? The constant, the something constant. Which is how fast the universe is expanding, and then we have to make up like dark matter and stuff to try and explain it, but it'll help adjust that a little bit. So that's good. It's good stuff.
Yes. I'm not lost on that one at all. I'm with you, Melanie. But I'm not the audience, so don't worry about me. I'm just here, over here. What do you say, Jesse? Are we frozen? Okay.
No,
It got
no.
dead.
I don't
silent.
know. I can't add anything to that.
Okay. Yeah.
All I can think of is like, movies like Interstellar, where he is down
Yeah.
on Jupiter for too long, and
Yeah, Interstellar is a good example of time dilation, but it's more okay. That's why I was trying to use the taffy example. If I take a piece of taffy and it's small, the time is the same here at one end and the other, but then if I go far away, it stretches all the stuff in between apart. You know what I mean? So it's way bigger, it's way different, but the time is still the same at both ends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the way it's always been explained to me is like an explosion, because you have the velocity of the inner explosion and it's fast, and then outside, but it's the same time.
That makes sense.
So where is the time different?
In the
Back that way.
in the movement of apart, where it's
Okay.
expanding apart, that's where the time changes.
Okay. Cool. That's okay. Can we please move on?
Yes.
I feel like I'm trying not to ruin the segment. I cannot understand a thing. It's fine. We don't all have to stop talking.
No, that's like I said, it's just an explosion. And it's
Yeah, I'm
the same
sorry.
time.
I thought it was simpler than it is. My bad. I try to pick ones that won't lose people. I was a little off this time. I apologize.
It's okay. I just realized that I did not know what we were talking about the other day when we had a full conversation about this, that I did not realize I was wrong or confused. Well, hey, Jasper,
Yes.
you got anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No,
In the
but I will say I got a new tattoo.
look at that.
Yeah, a little green arrow going on here.
Yeah, a little green arrow, a little bit of Nordic runage. Yeah.
Yep.
That's a big piece.
Yeah, it was only $250, which is not
Nice.
bad. It goes from my wrist to my elbow. So
You don't want to.
Yeah, I like
you don't want to get hit with that. Or with that
Arrow.
You bring that green arrow. Queen's
So tell the kids,
The
now that when
Queen's
I-
Gambit is going down right here. Boom.
Tell the kids when I point at things, I don't have to like send my finger and just that way.
Green arrow means it's time for you to turn your lights off and go to bed.
Because you failed the city.
You failed
You
this
can use that
house.
one for free. It's time to
this house.
turn. Green arrow means it's time to turn your lights off.
Oh man.
Cool. Jesse, you got anything interesting coming up? Anything going on?
I'm on Threads now.
What's your Threads username?
I believe it's at Kiefer Jesse. So whatever my Instagram was.
Cool.
At Kiefer Jesse, just make it backwards.
Right.
Yeah, other than that, nothing really other than I would say, get the 5 flavor sample pack from Bones Coffee. And there's lots of great Humble bundles happening right now.
Right. Okay.
I've
that's
actually
legit.
picked a couple of them up. So, check them out. I think they just dropped another comics one today. I think probably another Dynamite bundle. So if you
Oh, nice.
don't have all the Dynamite comics, go get you some Red Sonja
Go get you some.
and whatever else they do.
If you go to grawlixpodcast.com/humble, that's our affiliate link redirect. Yeah, you will might get a little kickback, which you can actually control how much we get. I think
Yeah.
if you dive into the sliders on Humble Bundle.
Yep.
But yeah,
You can also get a bunch of awesome podcast history if you go to patreon.com and become a patron.
Yeah.
podcast history is a good way to put it because we have stuff on there. We've been doing the show for a while. I always get it
10,
wrong.
Hot
10
minute.
to 12, something like that.
I think it's 27 years. We're pioneers.
Yeah.
We've been going real fast, so time is stretched. So yeah, that makes sense, right?
Right.
Turner knows.
Magic spoon.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I don't want to dive back into this, but Turner said in the travel between 2 points, time is slower.
Yeah.
And I
agree.
think he's right. So what you're saying is when 2 points spread apart, time is slower to get from one to the other?
Velocity. It's just velocity.
Oh,
the faster you
velocity.
go, the slower time
'Cause
moves.
it-
How's that? That's better.
Because I know
Basically, time is
when
catching
2
up to you.
I know as 2 points are further apart, it does take longer to get. I'm intentionally being dumb on that. Okay, I know that's not what you mean.
There's a really
yeah.
good 30-minute YouTube video of it's approximately the way the universe will end, and it's weird because it's 4 or 5 billion years from now, but it's the most terrifying thing to watch.
Wait,
Because it'll be all black holes, and then universe is nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
Sweet.
I'll have to
That's
share
one
it to you
theory.
guys.
Please do. Yeah. I want to not be able to sleep tonight.
I just stared at the screen and watched it. I was like, "We're gonna die like that? Wait, I'm gonna be dead for a while."
Well, yeah.
Oh.
Right.
I'm going to go take my anxiety medicine now.
That's I accidentally traumatize children talking about stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like if you don't need to worry about the sun expanding. We'll be dead a long time before that. Come on.
I'm saying.
Oh,
All right. Oh,
That was perfect.
it's my peanut.
let's end this show.
Yeah.
Hey, you can find me on Threads at Super Science Sounds. It's all one word. Super Science Sounds. I'm gonna have to create it. I'm gonna have to do a Grawlix because I always say throw a /Grawlix podcast
Oh,
and you'll
yeah,
find us.
that's right.
So I'll have to and Grawlix podcast /Grawlix podcast because there probably won't be a lot posted there. But we'll
It'll
be there.
if you want it.
Yeah.
I will.
Worst case scenario, it'll link you back to our webpage where you can get some Humble Bundle.
It's gonna link you to our Twitter, and then our Twitter's gonna link you to our Threads.
That's right.
And you're just gonna go back and forth.
We don't have a link tree, do we?
No, I don't think so.
That'd
I
be
don't-
too easy.
I actually, we have the website. I basically made I think I made a version of our own. I don't need Linktree. I can make my own. We got a website.
Right. That's right.
So we do kind of have a version of one that is what's linked from our Instagram page. So yeah, there's that. It's grawlixpodcast.com/play, I think. It's always got our most recent audio episode, and then it's got all of our links. So I was like, I ain't paying for no branding free Linktree. I got a website. I can do it myself.
Fair enough.
And then I realized I wasn't a bad imitation of a Southern person and stopped talking that way.
Stop talking.
So,
Boy, howdy.
I was a sassy Southern belle.
Realized I wasn't a cowboy, so I quit. I rustled up the mustard and quit. Whatever that
I want to watch
means.
a Western movie now.
Makes
No,
me wanna go
watch
Yellowstone.
watch MI2. MI2. Some John Woo. I just want to watch all John Woo movies, especially ones with Nick Cage in them.
That's like I want to start the Fast series, but I'm just like don't.
That's another one that would be great. Yeah, just to watch all the cars that can go everywhere, even space.
I feel like the Fast series is like on the opposite trajectory of Mission Impossible, where like,
Yes!
Mission Impossible
Yeah!
started way up here and then like kind of reined it in.
Yeah,
from what
they
I
did.
understand.
More recently, they've just been solid spy movies.
Right. Fast and the Furious ramped way up
Yeah. Whereas
appropriately.
like, Mission Impossible's slowly been bringing it back to what's almost realistic.
Right. Almost.
Speaking of bringing it back, just real quick before we leave, to go back to the beginning, I never really watched heavy metal when I was young, but we discovered Elon Musk basically was just trying to recreate part of heavy metal when he shot that car into space.
Oh, really? That's what it was.
Yeah, you remember when he did that?
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was. We were watching something and it reminded me of that sequence. And I asked Melody, and she's like, "What?" She's like, "Well, like Elon Musk did." I was like, he did a car thing, huh?" And we looked it up on YouTube and watched the intro to Heavy Metal, where it's got that whole sequence, which I still enjoy. It's charmingly like kind of rough around the edges,
Sure.
but. And then we looked up the Elon Musk car in space thing, and that car is suspiciously similar. It's a convertible, like it's the same
Sure,
thing.
sure.
He was just trying to make heavy metal.
Have we thought out the science of this? Like, so there's a car in space. This car can't come back down and crash into something. Like,
I mean,
did he just create like a missile that will hit something at an undisclosed time in the future?
Most likely it's going to ram into other space junk and
Right.
disintegrate into smaller pieces, and then maybe, yeah, it'll probably burn up in the atmosphere, though, if it actually hits the planet.
Okay, good. Because I mean, like, I don't think my car insurance is
good.
going to. I don't think my car insurance is going to cover that. Like, sure, it's just a hit and run, but it's a flaming hit and run from space.
Yeah, it happens, though. There was some lady laying on her couch, and then something crashed through the roof and hit her on the shoulder, and that was like gave her a bruise, and it was a meteorite, so it happens.
Yikes!
That's wild that it had enough force to break through the roof, but then like lost enough of that force that it just bruised her shoulder.
It's like, ow!
That's
Well, it's
wild.
probably the roof that made it slow down enough that Ella
course.
didn't bruise her shoulder.
Right.
All right, let's get out of here. It's very hot in this room. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for listening. Grawlixpodcast.com, and follow the link from the website to one of the places where you can see our stuff. So that's it.
Thanks for joining
All right.
us tonight, Jasper. It's been fun.
Not a problem.
Yes, thank you, Jasper.
Yeah, it's nice to see you again.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to start joining regularly because, well, right now I'm unemployed, so best time.
Cool.
There you go. There you go.
Well, I mean, maybe not cool, but
Right.
Ugh.
my plan is working. All right. Bye, everybody.